You walked with me, footprints in the sand, and helped me understand where I'm going.
How do you describe a woman who's touched so many lives? One word so simple, but could never be enough.
Easygoing.
Compassionate.
Optimistic.
Loving.
Playful.
Supportive.
Laughter.
My everything.
A grandma, a mother, a wife, and friend. To each of us, you meant something different. You played a different role. But making sure we all felt loved was always your number one goal.
A person who has had a good mother is certainly blessed. And I've had two fabulous mothers, so I am more than blessed. Mary J. has always introduced me as her daughter, not her daughter-in-law. And I was proud to refer to her as my mother, not my mother-in-law. Who is lucky enough to have two wonderful mothers? Not very many people. She was my mother, my friend, perfect grandmother to my children. Mother-in-laws have always been the fodder of many jokes, but I was never able to relate to this because she has always been the best mother-in-law in the world. She was just mom to me. Lucky me. Because of you, I am blessed. My children are blessed. My husband is blessed. We are all blessed. I love you, Mary. Thank you for raising such a wonderful son and giving him to me.
You lived a life full of adventure, never an outing you missed out on. To do and to see and to laugh with and support, you were always the one we could count on.
Mom and Dad come and visit every year. And one year in Louisiana when they came to visit, Mom and I were sitting on a picnic table. And we were watching the hummingbirds. Because we love hummingbirds. We always talk about hummingbirds. We call each other about hummingbirds. We love hummingbirds. And we were sitting on the picnic table. We had 3 hummingbird feeders up on the porch. And it's really close to the picnic table. And Mom and I are watching the hummingbirds and pointing at them and go, oh, look at that one, look at that one. Oh, see that one. And then Mom says, she said to me, how do you think hummingbirds land when they have no feet? And I looked at her and paused for a moment and said, Mom, hummingbirds have feet. And she said, no, they don't. Look at them. You don't see no feet, do you? And I said, well, they're hiding. They're tucked up underneath their bellies. But they have feet. And she's telling me they don't have feet and asking me how I think they land without feet. Do they skid to a branch with an abrupt stop, or do they hover over their bird's nest and just drop in? And so I'm trying to talk her into hummingbirds have feet. And we went on, and I couldn't believe Mom didn't know that hummingbirds didn't have feet. So the next day, she tells me again, or brings up, how do they sleep, those hummingbirds? Do you think they're resting on their bellies? And I bet they flip over or tip over when they're sleeping because they don't have any feet to grab onto the branch or their nest. And now again, I'm telling her, Mom, hummingbirds have feet. The next day comes, she's doing the same thing to me. And I'm like, Mom, they have feet. I can't believe you don't know they have feet. And then finally she tells me that she believes they have feet. She knows that. She was just joking with me. And then we started laughing about it because she carried this on for a couple days. I'm all worried about her, thinking hummingbirds don't have feet. So we laughed hard about the joke that she gave me, and she always used to tell me how gullible I am. And that just shows that I am pretty gullible. So we laughed about it. I remember all the times we laughed. That's one of them. I love my mom, and I love to laugh with her.
So much of who I am is made from what I learned from you. You'll always be there with me. It's like you always knew. Our memories so vivid, so fresh and so deep. These memories you gave to us, we will always keep.
We thought of you with love today, but that is nothing new. We thought of you yesterday and the days before that too. We think of you in silence. We often speak your name. Now all we have is memories and your picture in a frame. Your memory is our keepsake with which we'll never part. God has you in his keeping. We have you in our hearts.
A love for all things beautiful. This world owes you a lot. You stayed up to date on everything, the trendiest things you sought.
My grandmother was always supportive of all of us and everything we wanted to do. I remember about a year ago she came to visit, and I had wanted to dread my hair, and nobody else in my family thought it was a good idea and kind of messed with me about it, and she said, sure, let's go ahead and do it if it makes you happy. And we just sat down and she started backcombing my hair, and before I knew it I had all of this, and she didn't entirely think it was the best idea ever, but she knew that it was something that I wanted, and she wanted to make me happy, and that's the kind of person she was. She always wanted to make everyone happy because she was happiest when those that she loved and the people around her were happy.
Well, Austin's dreadlocks weren't the only adventure in alternative hairstyles that Mom was involved in. When I was a teenager back in the 70s, I got the idea that an afro might be a cool look. Mom was of the opinion that might not really work for me, but she was game if I was game. So off to her beauty shop we went. She was putting in the curlers and soaking my head in that stinky permanent solution. And before long we were both staring at me in the mirror in those tight little curls and kind of wondering what we had just done. But we both agreed that probably should let it grow on me for a little bit and see what we thought later. It wasn't 48 hours later till we were back in the beauty shop and she was straightening that little mess out. But that's the way Mom was, always supportive, ready to help, and ready to straighten out the mess when things didn't go quite right.
Because of you and Papa, we all came to be. I'm truly thankful because without you there'd be no me. The love you shared with Papa was incredible to see.
When I was in the hospital with my wife, an angel came to me and gave me a poem, which gave me a lot of comfort, and I read it many times. And I'd like to share that poem with you. The name of the poem is The Next Place by Warren Hansen. The next place I go will be as peaceful and familiar as a sleepy summer Sunday and a sweet, untroubled mind. And yet, it won't be anything like any place I've ever been, or see, or even dreamed of in the place I leave behind. I won't know where I'm going, I won't know where I've been, as I tumble through the always and look back toward the wind. I'll glide beyond the rainbows, I'll drift above the sky, I'll fly into the wonder without ever wondering why. I won't remember getting there, somehow I'll just arrive, but I know that I belong there and will feel much more alive than I've ever felt before. I will absolutely free of things that I held on to that were holding on to me. The next place that I go will be so quiet and so still that the whispering song of sweet belongings will rise up to fill the listening sky and joyful silence, and with unheard of harmonies of music made by no one, playing like a hush upon a breeze. There will be no room for darkness in that place of living life, and where an ever-dawning morning pushes back the dying night. The very air will fill with brilliance as the bright, shining sun and the moon of 500,000 stars are married into one. The next place that I go won't really be a place at all. There won't be any seasons, winter, summer, spring, or fall, nor Monday, nor Friday, nor December, nor July, and the seconds will be standing still while the hours fly by. I will not be a boy, a girl, a woman, or a man. I'll simply be just me. No worse or better than. My skin will not be dark or light. I won't be fat or tall. The body I once lived in won't be part of me at all. I will finally be perfect. I will be without flaw. And I will never make one more mistake or break the smallest law. And the me that was impatient or was angry or unkind will simply be a memory, the me I left behind. I will travel empty-handed. There is not a single thing I have collected in my life that I would ever want to bring, except the love of those who loved me and the warmth of those who cared, the happiness and the memories and the magic that we shared. Though I will know the joy of solitude, I'll never be alone. I'll embrace all the family and friends I've ever known. Although I may not see their faces, all our hearts will beat as one, and the circle of our spirits will shine brighter than the sun. I would cherish all the friendship I was fortunate to find, all the love and the laughter in the place I leave behind. All these good things will go with me. They will make my spirit glow, and the light will shine forever in the next place that I go.